Yeah. Bro code. We in new modes, and we do it better sticking together. Won't bend, won't fold. No, I got your back through whatever weather, rain, sleet, or snow. Making profit while we get to the cheddar. We in that mode, you know if we got a problem, we pull up in that jet, fit fall on my bros. Collective like the colors in the rainbow. All of that talking you did on the net, we know that you only did it for a post. If I pull up then I get in the check, I need me like 500K for a show, or maybe more. And I got all of the stars in the ceiling cause we in a row. Yeah, just for the bros, brothers forever, so you know we got each other back. We aiming for gold, sticking together, careless about the weather, we never slack. Gotta stick to the code. Bro code. We in new modes, and we do it better sticking together. Won't bend, won't fold. No, I got your back through whatever weather, rain, sleet, or snow. Making profit while we get to the cheddar. They know we.
What up? Back in the building. What's going on, fellas? What's going on? Good to be back.
Good, always good.
It's always good. Hey, Facebook, Instagram. Welcome back to another episode of Bro Code. Good to be back in the building, fellas.
Yeah,
how's everybody doing?
Good, man. Missed y'all boys.
Yeah. It's been.
Man,
Hey,
we didn't get the memo, man.
Rico clean today. Got the work clothes on today.
Hey, we've been partying. You the one been chilling, man.
Yeah, man. We enjoyed your birthday party too, man. Yeah.
Hey, thank you. I had a ball, man.
Yes, sir. We enjoyed it, man.
Man.
All right, fellas. So we back here. Let's chop it up a little bit. So today's episode, we want to talk about something that's really serious. You know, where this is an election year. You know, so you're going to be hearing a lot more about this topic. It's one that we always hear about. It's one that's very important. Us as men, we have families. We want to protect our own. So we want to talk about gun laws. But what we want to talk about, and the topic today is, how can owning a gun go wrong? All right. So we all, I believe, are legal firearm owners. You know, we have our permits. You know, we're licensed to carry. Right. It's very important. You know. So, but you know, there's things that can happen, right, if you are not conscious when you own a gun. And we want to kind of talk through those things today and make sure our fans are aware of some of the laws that could bite them if you're not responsible, okay? So a couple of need to knows. First, we hear, you know, the Second Amendment, all right? The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. We all, as American citizens, we have the right to bear arms, right? We have the right to protect ourselves, okay?
Until you do something to...
Now
they take that away from you.
Now, if you got a felony and all that, and we're not going to get into the weeds of gun laws because there's a lot. One of the things I realized in doing research that there's a lot of information when it comes to laws. There's a lot of codes. There's a lot of bills and everything out there related to.
Different too, man.
Yeah, exactly. Every state is different,
which is crazy again.
Yep.
Yes.
Your permit doesn't work in every state.
It doesn't. It doesn't. And we're going to get into that, man. And you know, and that's one of the things that I realized. You know, going from state to state, it does vary. You know, so what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to keep it within Georgia because we're here in Georgia. We want to talk about, you know, the gun laws here in Georgia and how to be responsible. So another need to know is Georgia is a constitutional carry state. All right. So what that means is a person can carry a concealed handgun without a permit.
That's just recent.
Governor Kemp just passed that 2023?
Yeah.
2023, was it 2023 or 2022?
It's 2023.
2023. I know it's recent.
Well, I think it got passed in 2022, but it took effect.
It took effect in 23, exactly. Yeah. So Georgia is one of 27 states that is, and another way of saying that is a permitless carry. You don't have to have a permit to own a gun here in Georgia. Some other states, you got Texas, you got Arizona, you got Florida. And what I've noticed in looking at the map, your western seaboard states, California, you know, your eastern seaboard states, New York and all that, they are pretty much you got to have a permit.
Yeah, well,
right?
New York you can't have anything.
You can't own a gun in New York.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah, you can't even own a gun in New York. Exactly.
And even if you are licensed, we're talking about states that your permit doesn't apply. New York is one where you will get in trouble.
Yeah.
Like just because you have a permit, Georgia, Florida,
Yep.
Alabama. If you go to New York, there's
So
nothing.
you have to be mindful when you crossing state lines
Yes.
because it is different. All
Yes.
right. So that's another thing to be careful of when we talk about owning a gun. So you got about 24 states that do require permits, but Georgia again is a constitutional carry state. You do not have to have a permit.
So
What you think about that?
with the Second Amendment giving you the right to bear arms, and then you passing this law where you don't even need a permit, I think that's scary because
That's very scary.
how you like
Well, that's, that's the permit just to carry.
That's what I'm saying. But
conceal.
if you're a felony, but you telling me now, even though I'm a felony, I still can carry because
No.
you said I don't need a permit.
No.
No, but I'm saying, but if literally if you don't catch me, you're saying I don't do nothing stupid, then I can have it wherever I go.
Well, first of all, you can if I can carry it in New York, like we just said, if I don't get caught.
Get caught.
Right? I can there are signs on buildings that says, guns are not permitted. So there are places if you put a sign and I'm not supposed to bring it in, but if I got it on me, how do you know?
ain't got no
Unless I get
metal
caught.
detector.
But see that's
Right.
New York. I
that's
don't
Georgia.
think you're gonna be crazy enough to go to New York knowing you can't own a gun there. But in Georgia, my thing is if you know for a fact that you don't have to have a permit, bro, like what's gonna stop you from getting a gun?
Well, that's the permit to carry, not the permit to have it. Right? You can go and buy a gun. I can have a handgun, and I can have it in the car, in the glove box, or whatever, right? Or I have it at home, right? So I can own the gun, right? The permit has always been to carry the gun.
Right.
But to what you're saying, I get what you're saying, but look at it like this. Even though he said you don't need a permit to carry a gun, you're a felon. Oh, I can carry a gun because the governor said.
Right.
But when we were required to have permits and carry to be able to carry, they still was carrying. So it don't affect nothing.
I guess
You
got
know
a
what I'm
point.
saying?
Right.
It's still, if I don't get caught, I don't get caught.
Yeah.
Right. And let's be
You know what I'm
clear,
saying?
if you are a
But it
felon,
don't
you
give them
cannot
a pass.
you cannot
If you're
own
a
a gun.
felon,
If
you're
you're a
not-
felon, you can't even own a gun.
Hey,
Right.
all right.
Let's be clear about that.
Not
Know the
supposed-
rules and
not supposed to-
understand them. Everybody,
You're not supposed to.
Right.
if you're a
You're
felon,
not supposed to have it.
you're
You're not supposed to have
a
it
gun.
at all. And we're actually
Period.
going to touch on that toward the end of this
Yeah.
show. We do want to touch on that. Another need to know is, we talk about these laws and everything like that. There is an agency that kind of enforces all these laws, and that's called the ATF. All right,
baby.
that's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. They are the agency that they're a government agency that are responsible for enforcing the gun laws that we have in place. All right, so. I want to preface this show today, guys, because there's a lot of information out there. And when I was doing the research, I was like, "Whoa, let's trim this down a little bit." So as we get into it, if I sound like I'm reading a little bit, I do have my screen in front of me, so because there's a lot of information, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. All right, so today,
Give them the knowledge, AC.
hey man,
Give it to them,
let's
baby.
talk about it,
They
man.
ready
Let's
for
talk
it.
about it. So there's actually 10 ways. There's 10 ways that an honest gun owner can end up in jail if you're not responsible. I trimmed it down to 5, and I made all these related to in Georgia.
Okay.
All right, because it, like we said, it varies from state to state. All right. So the first one, the first way that an honest gun owner, we're honest gun owners, brandishing. All right, brandishing when you want to de-escalate a situation. All right, brandishing is basically. And this is per Georgia Code 1611-102. A person is guilty of a misdemeanor here in Georgia, when intentionally, and this is keywords right here, intentionally and without legal justification. Very important, okay? Points or aims a gun at another, all right? So basically, if you feel threatened and you just say, hey, back up, right? In Georgia, that's okay. But the moment you pull your gun, you just committed a misdemeanor. The reason being is because you don't have legal justification, right? There was no force. There was no force placed upon me. So I have no right to point my gun.
So
Now,
that's kind of scary a little bit because basically what you're saying is, so I gotta wait for somebody to actually do something commit an act before I can even actually even take it out.
Yeah. So let me.
So where do that falls in the area of protecting yourself before it even gets escalated?
So like I don't know if this comes with like stand your ground or something like that. Let's say for example, you know what I'm saying, you three, you know what I'm saying, y'all approaching me with aggression. It's three of y'all, so now it's 3-on-1.
Right.
And then if I show it and then you still talking and then you still coming forward and I pull it on you, right? At that point, I don't know if is it a way to figure out, you know, where's the tipping point? Because now it's 3-on-1. So am I gonna try to fight three of y'all, or am I gonna wait for you like Orlando saying is to pull something out, right?
Right.
In that particular scenario, right? Should I turn and run, or is it stand your ground?
Well, Georgia is like one of those stand your ground states. It's just not talked about as much as Florida. So in that scenario, you probably...
What would you do in that scenario?
I mean, just to make sure I'm covered, I'm probably just gonna take one. And then after I take one, they gonna take one.
So you gonna let me shoot you first?
No.
So
in this scenario, they got guns or they just trying to fight?
But okay,
if they just approaching you.
They approaching me in an aggressive manner trying to fight and they swing.
You got to be ready. You got to be ready to fight.
I mean, there has to be reasonable. It has to be, and I forgot the exact definition, but it has to be
force. I think it's force.
Like reasonable force or reasonable.
So let's take you out of the scenario, right? It's three of us and a lady, and we're approaching her aggressively. She has it in her purse. What should she do? We're actively saying certain things to her.
That's a good question, you know, because you have a wife, you know, daughters and everything.
I know
like
what
that,
I want my wife to do.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
she can't run because she can't outrun. She's not gonna outrun you.
Right.
Nobody, not too many people.
I would definitely encourage her to give that warning.
I would say a woman would probably get more grace in that situation.
Probably.
But what do you think the law says? We trying to figure out what the law. You know, we're not.
I mean, the law. The thing with the law is, it's open to interpretation.
So let me say
when
this,
you go to court, it'll say X, Y, Z, but when they get in court, they judge each scenario.
This is why election years are very important. Because you see how we're kind of dissecting this one way.
And we all know that happens though.
Right? Yeah. This is why election year is very important because these leaders, they have different stances, right? People are passionate about what they can do with their guns.
Are you not taking nobody's gun, bro?
Yeah. People are passionate about it.
Cool. Yeah. I heard you say
it's not happening.
That you probably gonna take one.
Yeah.
So you telling me you're gonna take a punch before you put it, bro? Okay, so here's my thing.
Because
we're talking about the rest of your life, dog.
Listen. Like, suppose you take a punch and it causes more damage that you could have avoided by just taking the gun out for to even stop all that from the beginning. Like, suppose they hit you in the jaw and just broke your jawbone. Now you got to have major surgery and all that stuff. That's gonna cost you money. You got to look at all of that.
Okay, so look at this. If I might get hit. And it might break my jaw, and I might have to have surgery, but they might be done lost their life.
Yeah.
So which one do you want?
But if you shoot them, you don't have to shoot them to kill.
What you shooting for?
What you shooting for?
To get them off you.
The police. I mean,
that's what you got Pat saying for.
If you trying to get them off, you might well just
like okay, but if it's three of them, you gonna fight all three of them.
That's the point. Like if you just trying to get three dudes off you gonna square with all three of them.
No, listen.
I'm not.
You want to know what
I'm not even finna play them games.
So I'm gonna tell you like this right
here.
Get
away from me.
Me personally.
This your warning.
Me personally, I'm gonna tell you to back up. I'm gonna let you know. So look, bro. Listen, okay. I'm gonna give you a chance.
Are you showing the
gun? Are you showing your gun, or you just saying back up?
No, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna listen. Okay, I'm gonna let them know. Listen. Okay, help me help you. Okay, I'm listen. I'm not doing all that talking. Listen. No, listen. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm saying reason why I'm gonna talk to you because you can't never say I ain't warn you. Because 9 times out of 10, just because you put it out like this right here, now suppose you never shot nobody. Now a lot of going through your mind because you think about all this stuff or whatever. So now they always say if you put it out, make sure you use it.
You know, so we talking about that. You based on the scenario that you had told us before. you went to save somebody with yours.
Right.
So technically, you supposed to be.
So what I'm gonna tell you is, listen.
In cuffs.
I'm gonna listen. Look, bro. Listen. Okay. Listen. Chill out. Hey.
Don't come get it, please.
Then, but no.
We need 'em.
Here's my thing though. Then if we get to the point where it's too aggressive, then I'm gonna ask you a question because mine it holds 15 in the clip. So I'm gonna ask you what number you want. That's what I'm gonna ask you. What number you want? And that's how many you gonna get. No.
This ain't no movie.
No.
This is not a movie.
Listen, but
This is real life situation.
No, right. Listen, at this point,
I'm not talking to nobody.
But no, listen.
They got one warning. Get away from me.
Go ahead and make your last point, man.
At this point,
What's he
at the end of the day,
talking about,
listen, you cannot say I didn't warn you.
Okay, so you're gonna give a warning.
Right, I'm gonna give you a
right.
verbal warning.
You want to have? You need to be.
Because if I just tell you to back up, you think that's gonna make you back up?
No.
So that's your
choice.
That's your de-escalation method, which is cool, right? But I do want to let our fans know that brandishing is a way, and it's one of the top ways that people end up in jail. I mean, good citizens end up in jail because of brandishing. And in some states, I just want to throw this out there. Some states, even doing this can be a felony. Utah is one of those. There's several states where just showing your gun is a felony.
What if you open carry?
It's still
Well,
a felony.
open carry, I mean, you can see it. Because you can technically, I can put it on my hip.
North Carolina is definitely an open carry state.
So you can just, as I'm walking down the street,
yeah.
so you see what I got.
Yeah. So that one may be a little different.
That might be
that may be a little
deterrent.
different. Yeah.
Like if somebody's, I ain't.
Yeah, because I want to say, we have to double check, again, we don't know all the laws.
Right.
I want to say in Georgia, you can open carry.
Yeah, because they have the concealed carry permit and they have.
Yeah, you can. You can open carry.
So it's just like, hey, you come mess with me, you see what I'm working with.
But you don't see a lot of people. You don't see a lot.
I don't do it.
Oh, yeah, but you do see people. Yeah, you do see people. It look kind of tacky to me. If you're not a police officer, if you're not in uniform, you can't open in the library.
I actually would be nervous to do it. I'm for real.
Somebody can come and grab it.
Not even grabbing it from me is because I'm a black man.
You're a target.
You're
a target.
What he doing? He walking through the store with his gun out.
Yep.
I mean,
that's what they'll call it. It's a black man in the store with his gun out.
Who do you think he is?
Y'all haven't seen the clips where the guy, of course he's not black, goes into the airport with his AR-15 on his hip, and he's just walking around in like the baggage claim area. Nobody approaches
Not
him
in Georgia.
In
Georgia?
Yeah,
Wow.
It's happened a couple of times.
Wow.
Nobody approaches him for like an extended period of time, and it wasn't until like, of course, everybody's like pointing and whispering that somebody finally approaches him.
Yeesh.
And he's
That's
one of those really, really, really patriotic gun law people, and
he like, I ain't doing nothing wrong. That's what he was saying.
And that's actually unlawful. We'll touch on that. So the second way that an honest gun owner can find themselves in jail is selling to a prohibited person. Okay? Basically, if you sell a gun to a felon, or if you give a gun to a felon
for that anyway.
Yeah, so that's Georgia Code 1611 113. Yeah,
that's on the paperwork.
Yeah.
When
You're not supposed to, like if you come from out of state, right? They can't sell if you're not in the state of Georgia. They can't sell you a gun.
Right. So Georgia Code 1611 113. Any person knowingly provides a firearm to a felon in Georgia will be guilty with a felony. First offense, 1 to 5 years, automatic. You sell a gun to a felon, 1 to 5 years in prison. You do it again, which will be dumb, 5 to 10 years, automatic. Selling a gun to a felon in jail, felony.
Ooh, boy.
Felony. And the key word here is knowingly.
Right.
Knowingly, So if people can falsify stuff and give you fake IDs and everything, like you might be able to beat that. But if you knowingly sell to a felon,
no selling to your little cousin Ray and all them boys.
Don't even hand it to them.
Moral of the story, don't do it.
Right.
If you buy a gun, buy it for yourself and your own protection.
Yes.
Don't buy somebody else a gun. This ain't a pair of shoes or a car. This is real.
People are losing lives on these weapons. Guns is a very big deal.
Man.
Number 3, all right, gun-free zones. Okay, and we kind of touched on this with the airport. All right, so Georgia has several gun-free zones. All right, courthouses, jail, prison. Right, cannot take a gun in those places.
Yeah. And,
all right.
Any business that posted If they post a sign outside, you can't take the gun into their business.
Yeah, if it says weapons are prohibited, you cannot take it, right?
Yeah.
Because the signage is there.
And
right.
believe it or not, the Atlanta airport, I want to say we have the largest confiscation of weapons.
They did like this year or last year. I want to say last year.
They be going like, oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Like, you forgot.
Bruh, I work for the government and I work in a federal building, and you wouldn't believe the number of people that come through there.
They forget they got it on.
They forget they have it in their bag.
They can go to jail for that. They can go to jail for that.
But there
and
is
lose their job.
But there is a proper way to transport guns into an airport. Right, so if I'm a hunter, right, it's certain things you gotta have.
You gotta do paperwork. Yeah, you gotta do form. This stuff.
All that beforehand.
Yeah, and then you have it. It'll go on.
Exactly.
Right? But like, it's not illegal until you try to go through the checkpoint with it. On the front side of the airport, you're actually fine. You can.
That's why he said he was walking around.
Right, he was walking around like the back because that's the front side of the airport.
Oh, baggage claim, not checkpoint.
No,
baggage. Okay. Yeah.
Like as soon as you walk through them front doors, you're fine.
You're fine there.
But if you try to go through the checkpoints, now you're breaking the law.
Yep. And that's another one we got on the list. So airport security checkpoint is unlawful. That's a gun-free zone. Places of worship, so church buildings, you cannot carry. Within 150 feet of polling locations. So if your school, if the elementary school that you live next to, you're on the premises to vote or not even to vote, right? 150 feet, you get caught with a gun, you can go to jail.
Man, I'm supposed. So how about this? Like my backyard is like, so this is my fence, and then this is school property right there. So
if you're on the other side of that fence, you just made yourself liable. But if you're in your own yard, then
But that's the school property right there.
No, that's your property.
No, on the other side of that fence, I'm within.
That's what I'm saying.
Feet,
if you're on the other side of that fence, that's on you.
We said 150 feet of the school property, right? Mm-hmm. But my yard is here.
Yeah.
So you need to measure.
You might want to get clarity on that.
You need to measure back 100 feet.
Yeah. So and
draw a line in the sand.
But you know what's crazy though, man? So I just started doing security at a children's hospital.
Unarmed security, right?
Security,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah, because he wanna
listen. The funniest thing.
He wanna pay the sale.
The funniest thing, bro. I never seen so many people that I had to tell to take their pistol back to their car. Yeah. And believe it or not, bro, the majority of them is women.
Yeah, they don't be thinking about it. They have stuff in their purse. They don't.
But no, what I'm saying is, bro, a children's hospital.
Well, so you've been opening the purse and it's in there?
Like literally, no. What we have is a metal detector.
Yeah.
So it's gonna point and then it shows gun. It shows all that. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking like, okay, you coming to a kid's hospital.
They don't be thinking, but children's hospital, you're not even thinking about it.
They're subconsciously not thinking about that because one, they thinking when they have it in their purse, it's because of what's going on outside.
Yeah.
When they go into the children's hospital, they ain't even thinking about I got my because it's like a piece of clothing for them.
It's not like they carrying it on their hip or something.
Right. Like most men carry it on their person. Women, they carry it in their purse. They're not even thinking about it. Thank goodness for
security, man.
Security,
some of them
metal
in
detectors.
Fanny packs, they wear fanny packs.
Yeah, the fanny packs. Fanny packs come in handy for stuff like that.
Actually, a dude came in with his fanny pack. He had one of his fanny packs. He was like, "Oh my bad, bro. Let me take it back to the car." He had the whole fanny pack and took it back to the car, man.
So other areas that are gun-free zones, mental health facilities. We know that mental health is a big thing right now. So there's a lot of facilities. You cannot bring a handgun in there. Nuclear power facilities. Why would you want to?
Right, for real.
I don't even know. And then, of course, we talked on this K through 12, so no schools.
So I got an alibi. I heard you say places of worship. So I'm kind of conflicted when you say places of worship, and this is why. We have this, or had this string of one point in time where they were so many church shootings.
Yes.
I feel like if those people had weapons, they would have been able to eliminate or limit the amount of people that were injured and or killed.
So you must believe. Shootings. So you must believe teachers should have guns.
Teachers should have. Teachers should have the choice. They should have the choice.
Teachers should have controlled access, and what I mean by controlled access, I mean a lockbox tucked away in the corner, programmed to their fingerprint.
Why not?
I don't mean walking around in a classroom with a weapon on their hip. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean something that they can get to that's easily accessible in the event that a school shooting occurs.
What about armed security at the school?
I think that would be too much because kids are impressionable and kids don't understand a lot of stuff. And to see a man walking around and like, because most of them are gonna have like bulletproof vests, boots, all this militant gear, they're going to be afraid of that.
Yeah.
And they're not going to focus on their work. They're not going to focus on being a kid or being, engulfed in student activities.
Especially elementary and middle school.
Especially in elementary and middle school. Because, at one time when that was going on, it was a group of veterans that was like, look, we'll do it. We'll defend the schools. Yeah. And, I commend them on that because it's our kids.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're innocent. It's crazy to go shoot up a school?
Going back to the school teachers, man, I feel like school teachers should have the choice to carry if they want to. Have the choice because there's going to be some teachers that don't want to touch a gun. You shouldn't you shouldn't force that on them. But the teachers that do, let them with the control access, let them have the training, the proper training, so that if something does happen, boom, 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 they got access. At least you got some sort of quick reaction. It could be a teacher 3 classrooms down. That alarm goes off. First thing they're doing, they're trained to go get that gun.
Well, there was one, I can't remember what state it was in, but so like you said, alarm goes off, right? But what they were testing was a ballistics rolling wall, right? Okay. So all of a sudden, if that alarm goes off, then the teacher was instructed to go to the corner of the room, and this ballistic wall would roll, and it goes into the wall, and you lock it. So now the kids were in there behind this ballistic wall, so nobody's grabbing anything, and then there will be announcements made to say, hey, unlock it, right? Yeah, I thought it was a good idea, you know what I mean? So now you're not worried about a teacher trying to go grab something or anything like that. You just move to a safe location.
Yeah. Proper training had to be in place.
There's probably a million things that could be done.
What technology
of course,
something.
We put people on the moon.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the next one, with these gun-free zones, I do want to make a note that you can carry a gun on the premise of those locations that we talked about as long as you keep it in your car. As long as you keep it in your car and you keep it concealed in a locked compartment, then it's okay. All right, so I did want to point that out because these gun-free zones, you may think, well, that means I can't even roll up to a school. Right. No, you have to keep it in your car, but you cannot take that gun walk into the elementary school. Right. But as long as it's in your gun, you got license to carry, you're fine. Right. The next one, short barrel rifles. Short barrel rifles. This is
that's a no-no.
That is a no-no. That is a no-no. And again, it varies per state. Well, Georgia is one of those that Georgia Code 1611-122 and 124 prohibits the possession of a short barrel rifle or shotgun, silencer, explosive. And I didn't know this. I thought people own silencers in Georgia. No. Explosive device or machine guns. Yeah. All those are illegal.
Yeah. As far as a machine gun, that means what that really means is fully automatic. Right. Not
so an AR is not a machine gun.
No, it's semi. It's semi, right?
Okay, that's why I was confused.
So you can definitely do something to it to make it fully. Right.
Yeah.
It's just like now what's becoming common is a device called a switch.
Yeah.
So now, and you can get a switch, right? And technology.
No.
Technology, right? You can get designs. I don't, on the internet for these devices, right? And the thing is that technology, you can 3D print these things, right? So that's the thing that I don't know if we're going to talk about this, right? But even things like a ghost gun, right?
Yes.
Okay. So ghost guns are basically guns that have no serial because somebody made it, right?
Ooh.
Right. So people have the skill to make anything, right? Wow. So if I can go home, if I got the right material, I can make a gun, and now it's not tracked by the ATF. What you're talking about? So that's what's called a ghost gun. So people sell those things all over the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so those guns are sought after because they're untraceable.
Wow.
Right. So from a machine gun standpoint, That's what makes the machine, because it's fully automatic, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
And no,
I was mixing AR and machine gun. I thought they were the same. So yeah, that's why I was surprised when I saw that footnote.
Even with the AR, the military version, when I was on duty, and we qualified at the range, it had a semi option.
Yep.
And then it had a burst option. The semi option was like pow, pow, pow. The burst option was pow, 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 pow. It was like 3 shots at once.
Okay.
So we never really used the burst option.
Yeah.
You know, we had one scenario where they was just trying to use up a bunch of ammo. So a couple of us was
I've heard that, you know, in the military, right, for the most part they use semi, right?
Right.
You use fully if you're just trying to suppress a group, like keep them down, right? Then you're gonna just kind of just flood the area for a particular reason, because maybe you're trying to move or something like that, get in a tactical position.
And then that depends on the weapon you had, because I mean, the M16 was common, but then you also had like the SAW, which was a squad assault weapon, the 249. You know what I'm saying? Like the one that was like, which was, I guess you can say, it's more fully automatic because it shoots off a ton of rounds at once.
Because you can go today, we can go to the gun range tomorrow and we can shoot fully automatic, right? They got special licenses that allow you, and so as long as you're in the facility, you can rent it from them.
I got you. Okay.
And shoot it, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. I'm glad you brought that up about the Ghost. I did not have that in my notes, but that's good for the people to know.
Yeah.
There was another one, and that reminded me, there was another way, I didn't put this on my slides, but making your own ammo. Like making your own ammo.
Yeah.
It's legal in Georgia. You can do it in Georgia. I didn't know that. But in some states, it's illegal. Yeah, it's illegal in some states. Yeah, Georgia is one of those states that where you can make your own ammo.
That's the best way to go.
Like,
that's what they do.
Yeah.
They buy like the because you can get them like 100, 1,000.
So you buy the brands, the shells, you buy the primers, then you buy the powder, and there you go.
Yeah, that's all you need. Yeah. So yeah, Georgia's one of those. You can make your own ammo, so that's good to know. I do want to mention, this is another way, guns and marijuana do not mix.
Guns are drugs.
Guns and marijuana do not mix.
With nothing.
Exactly. Guns don't really mix with anything.
Say that.
Guns and alcohol.
Any controlled substance, it don't mix. Guns and marijuana do not mix. And the reason I say that is because now we have medical marijuana, right? We have some states where marijuana is legal, all right? But what we want our fans to know, and we want our listeners to know, you can be in a permitless carry state and medical marijuana, perfectly legal. But if you caught with them together, you just committed a felony.
Is it a felony to say, let's say, for instance, I'm carrying and I go out to the bar and I'm just throwing them back? Is there a point to where, you know, I know it's a point where I can't drive, right? Is it a point to where I shouldn't be carrying at that particular point in time? Because, not because I'm going to just pull it out and do something, but I may become more careless. I may drop it. I may leave it somewhere or something like that.
Or you may pull it out on somebody.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's a controlled substance. It's definitely going to affect your sentence. It's going to enhance your sentence.
Yeah.
And that is the Gun Control Act of 1968. It is illegal for individuals who are unlawful users or addicted to any controlled substance, marijuana, ecstasy, alcohol, any controlled substance, to possess a firearm. All right, and that's even medical. That's even for medical purposes. You know, so want to be mindful of that. We talked about short barrel rifles. Go ahead.
These laws, right? So it's hard to figure out what's right and what's wrong, right? Because you say short barrel rifle, and I know as soon as Coop says that's a no-no, right? But they will allow me to take. I know y'all guys are familiar with conversion kits.
Yep.
I can take a handgun in multiple calibers and convert it and put it into this conversion kit.
Have you stop? And
I'll make it into a rifle. I got a folding stock, you know, I got sights and everything. That's a short barrel rifle. I mean, because it's shooting multiple different calibers.
Right. For real. I got one.
But it's 100% legal to purchase that. Right.
Yeah, they sell them at gun shows. I bought one at a gun show.
But then you look at the law. It says short. Now I got a real short barrel rifle because I can fold it and put it in my book bag.
Right. I think when they say short barrel rifles, my bad, I think they're probably talking about more along the lines of like shotgun.
Right.
Because you know a lot of people will take
Sawed off shotgun, stuff like that. Yeah.
like pistol grip shotguns or like what they call them, bedding. I forgot what they call them. What the actual name is people call them, but they'll saw off the barrel and it's like even with the stock. That's like a you is going to. I think.
Sawed off. Yeah, but they make those.
I think you get like 10 years off.
They don't make them like that. Like how
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about? It's the
that,
pump. The pump.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those.
Yeah.
Where you like even pumps or just non-pump, where you saw off the barrel to where it's like even with the stock. That's a no-no.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot have those.
Yeah.
So I think that when they're talking about short barrel rifles, that's what they're talking about, not actual like because most people ain't sawing up no hunting rifle.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean that's the only other thing that
They're actually good.
Even with
the ones
ARs
you're talking
now,
about.
they have what you call AR pistols that are shorter than like an actual AR.
Yeah,
But you know what I mean?
But then you come and then you say I can't saw. You talking about shotgun, right? But then they'll sell you a handgun that shoots shotgun rounds. They shoot 410s, which are a little bit smaller, but it's still now got a shotgun on my hip.
Yeah.
Right, so you see how you be like, well, I thought I couldn't have it.
We live in a capitalist society, man.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They making it convenient for everybody.
But the crazy part
You want a
about it is-
shotgun, but you don't want the big. We got the pistol.
But it's, it's crazy if you think about it, how we talk about all these guns, and you would think that the law would be to be able to protect everybody from being able to get your hands on something like that, and it's so simple to even go get it.
Look, you can go today, right? And Coop, you've seen them. I don't see, and I'm a gun owner. I love a gun and stuff like that. But I cannot see any purpose for a 50 cal rifle. I'm talking about the big ones where I can stop a car.
Oh yeah,
There's no need.
You know what I'm saying? You talking about rounds this big,
like personal ownership? No.
Yeah, so you can go right to any of these stores and you can buy them, and we can go on the top of a building. And we can shoot on a clear day with a good scope. You shoot a mile or so.
Wow.
Bro, I shot one of them in basic.
Yeah,
Bruh.
but see,
Those aren't legal in Georgia. You can buy them in Georgia.
You go right. Yeah,
They made everything like personal.
A
Like,
friend of mine bought one, and I asked him. I said, why did you buy that? He said, I don't know. I thought it was cool, and he said my boy didn't want it no more, and he said I'll just give it to you at a good price, so I got it at a good price. And I asked him, I said, have you shot it? He said, no. I said, where you gonna shoot it? I don't really know.
Oh wow.
I was like, because you're gonna have to find a special place.
I was about to say he gonna have to go out to the country because they know
Right.
he's gonna let him shoot that.
Right. Yeah, you're gonna go deep in the country.
They got some outdoor ranges that do 100 yards, 200 yards. But with that kind of stuff, like seriously, you need to be shooting into a car or some huge hill to stop it. Because it's made to shoot an engine block.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
The round. I mean, you talking about $5 a round.
Yeah, that round is like.
But
40,
for
50 cal.
And that's 50 cal. Wow.
But you don't need it, right? But in Georgia, you can own anything pretty much you want to.
Some people are enthusiasts though. Some people just like the thrill of different guns. Yeah. It's collection. Yeah.
Even 40 cals, like I mean, those are crazy too. Like
They loud.
a 40. What you doing with that? I saw a dude one time
I got a 40
carrying,
cal.
like his carry was he was carrying a 40 cal.
That's too much. Yeah.
That's what I got.
40
40
cal?
Yeah.
That's your carry?
No. I mean, I'm sorry. I say 40 cal, like a Desert Eagle. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's what I say.
That's still
That's
a
what I
50 cal.
mean, like a
That's a
Desert.
50 cal. Yeah.
No,
Like that big old. Like,
No,
bro.
All right, so I want to point out it's also unlawful for these bullet points as well. Discharge a firearm within 50 yards of a public highway or street. So if you're 50 yards of a public highway, that is unlawful. Also, discharge a firearm on the property of another person without the property owner's permission.
It's just like hunting on my property.
Yeah, if you got a big backyard and somebody back there, okay, that's unlawful.
all, yeah.
All right, they just committed a crime. It's unlawful to possess a firearm during the commission of most crimes.
Yeah,
so basically, if you out there robbing the store,
It's armed robbery.
you got a gun. Yeah, that's armed robbery. You stealing a car. You got a gun on you. Yes, that's a felony.
I was talking to my my old supervisor, and we were having a conversation. So I grew up in the country. She grew up in the country. She from like Indiana.
Yeah.
So we grew up. If we saw a snake,
Kill it.
first thing we thought, bang,
Yeah.
bang. So of course, Fast forward, she ain't in the country no more. She living here in Atlanta.
Got that same mindset?
She got that same mindset. So she was like, she went outside our back and she saw a snake. She was like, oh, snake. So her first thought, she ran inside and got her gun and came back out.
Blue lights,
But
boy.
she realized like, oh, I'm in the city limit. I can't be doing that.
You can't do it. You can't do it.
But it's funny because I feel her. I went out back when it was warm.
Yeah.
I was going out my back door, and it just so happened I opened the window, opened the blind, and I saw a little snake on my thing, and I was like, "Oh no, buddy,
Better get a BB gun.
over here.
Better get a BB gun. The pellet gun.
So my first thought was, "Oh, you finna die tonight," and I was like, "Oh, I can't do that. I'm in
Can't
the
do
city."
it.
You get you a shovel, man.
Get you a shovel. Oh, yeah.
So I got a shovel, right?
Yeah.
So by the time I went and got the shovel,
gone.
of course he disappeared. But this is what I'm going to add to that.
In your house.
You know it's illegal to kill snakes?
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Oh, I
in
didn't know
Georgia.
that.
Yeah,
I didn't know
illegal to kill
that.
snakes.
Really?
Man, it's illegal to kill.
Any kind of snake or certain kinds?
Any kind of snake.
It's illegal to
kill
kill bats in Georgia. Like if you get bats in your attic,
Yeah.
or something like that, you got to call somebody and they'll get them out.
to safely remove them.
I love my pellet gun, man. I be grabbing
I gotta
everything.
get-
Squirrels.
I need one of
I
those.
gotta
I still be snatching
I
squirrels,
need to give me a
man.
pellet gun because I had these birds by my house.
Man, don't go to his house, bro.
Man.
I'm telling you.
These birds, oh man, it's like what are vultures or buzzards or what?
No, it's
I don't
like-
know, man.
Oh,
But
you
it-
sent a picture, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was your yard?
Yes, that was my
wow.
backyard.
Bro,
Dude, I'll be
those
out.
birds, I know we're getting off subject,
I'll be out.
but real quick, like the old saying is,
Right, that's what
they
dead.
symbolize
Right, dead.
like
Yeah.
death.
That. Yeah. That was your
Yeah.
yard?
Bro, that was my backyard.
Dog, you should have seen it. I pulled up in there and I kept looking around. I was like, I almost didn't come in. I was like,
That's creepy.
dog, what's
right
up with your yard? Like, what's up with your neighborhood?
That's creepy.
Right, it's the whole
They was-
neighborhood.
It was like two sitting on the house across the street. It was like one sitting on his roof. They was like flying around in a circle. I'm like,
Tree, you
bro,
better light
what's
some.
going
You better
on
light
over
some
here?
sage or something in your house.
But no, that's
another
every year
one.
though.
Every year,
They come out
For
every
real?
year.
You might got something back there.
Something.
Use of firearm in a manner that endangers another person. Okay.
Man, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're using it to endanger another person, I mean, some of this is common sense, right? We just kind of know it. And discharge a firearm while under the influence of alcohol or drugs.
That use and danger of other that's probably like the biggest killer of kids.
Ooh. Yes.
Kids play with guns, and it amazes me how kids are so comfortable going and getting their parents guns.
Yes.
Right.
And it's crazy, and it amazes me again how parents are so careless with their guns and don't have them secure.
So that ties into what we're about to talk about next, guys, and this
Okay,
is
let's
very
get it.
important. This
Let's
is
get it.
very important, all right?
Let's go.
So there's a lot of bills that are on the table right now. Again, this is election year, right?
Right.
There are a lot of bills when it relates to gun laws that's on the table. One in particular is the House Bill 135, all right? Basically, and this is a law that is going to make irresponsible gun owners, like we're talking about, irresponsible gun owners, responsible and accountable for crimes committed with their gun, okay? Because there's a lot of crimes being committed, and I'm going to go over some stats here for Georgia. There's a lot of crimes being committed from guns that are being stolen.
Yeah, I finna
Out
say
your
what my
car.
story.
Right.
You gotta stop leaving the gun.
Yeah,
in the
leaving
car.
your guns in your car.
Well, stop leaving them unsecured. in
Yes,
your car.
yes. So, I mean, you could be an irresponsible gun owner in your home, right? And a child can get access to it, right? Cause of death. So some of these notable facts for Georgia, all right? 161 children and teens die by guns every year. 161, all right?
I think that number's higher than that.
It
too.
could be.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be honest, cause
Yeah, it could
man,
be.
we probably had that in a month. I know here in Atlanta.
Yep, yep. This is in
Honestly,
Georgia.
but
4,321 are hurt by guns. 1,693 killed by guns. This is just in the year for Georgia.
and this is kids.
This is
No,
no. This is total.
Oh, it's
161. Yeah, 161 is children and
Oh,
teens.
so-
Yeah, 161 is children and teens. Georgia has the 10th highest rate of gun violence in the U.S., and that was taken from everystat.org. All right. Homicides in Atlanta are trending up every year. We go back to 2019, 95 homicides in Atlanta, in the city of Atlanta. 2020, 152.
That's a big jump.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
2022, 170. So it's just trending up every year. Most of these crimes are committed with guns that don't belong to the person that's committing the crime.
The craziest thing to me is I used to watch the news a lot.
Yeah.
And it was a period last year where every day I turned on the news, a kid died from a gunshot.
Sad.
Either self-inflicted or the sibling killed them.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And these ain't old, like, these are like 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, it is crazy.
Yeah, so this House Bill 135 is really going to touch on that. And I want to ask us as a panel, as a group, how do y'all feel about it? And I'll give you a scenario. I got 2 boys, okay? Put your brother, your broke-old brother in this position. I got 2 sons. They're playing in the house. One of them grabs a gun that I just got laying on I left it up under the couch, right? And one of them grabbing, he looking at it, and they think, "Bah!" And he happens, hits his little brother.
You at fault.
So first,
Who should?
You.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
First of all, you're at fault because
Yeah.
I have, even when my boys was young, right, and maybe I shouldn't have, maybe I should, but I look at the other side. They from like 5 and 6 years old, they hunting.
Yeah.
7 years
They're
old,
comfortable
8 years
with
old,
it.
9 to, and they come. So it's nothing for them, right? We don't do that,
Right.
So I did that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
I've been going on it for a long time, and this is nothing to play with.
Yep. So I'm in between. I'm in between. So what I do is
you have to.
Yeah. For me, I want my kids to be comfortable with guns, but right now, and my oldest is 11.
Right.
He's comfortable. They're comfortable with the pellet gun.
Right.
With the BB gun. I want them to have a form. It's not as dangerous. I'm not comfortable enough to put them on a handgun right now.
This is why you have to, and it's like one of those scare moments. This is what'll happen if you deal with this.
Yeah,
right? And you have to show them.
So a teaching moment.
It's a teaching moment.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
when I say that, like I took my son, because I grew up in the country. I took him to the country, and we walked around outside, and we saw animals, snakes, whatever, rabbits running around.
Yeah.
We shot one.
Yeah.
You see what that did? It's not moving no more.
And let them go take a close-up. Let them look at it. Yeah.
Let's look at this. It's one of those moments.
Yeah.
And you have to teach them the right way to do things. And it helps them.
Yeah.
Because they see, no, I don't want that.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's
so
right.
RJ is, a little bit, he's 10,
Yeah.
right? And so just actually when we were down in the country just recently, right, I said, hey, I think it's time, right?
Yeah.
And the way I approached it is, because he know I have them, right?
Right.
And I approached it with, these are not toys.
Right. And it's not a video game.
And it's not a video
You
game,
have to
right?
say that.
Yep.
And the first thing I did was I went through probably like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, like we talking about safety.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was teaching them how to make sure. I said
Hold
every time you
handle
pick it up, act like it's loaded. Right.
Yeah.
And then I taught them how to clear it, looking in there, double checking, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was teaching them how to remove the magazine and everything like that. So everything was done. A whole lot was done before it even said, "Hey, we're gonna shoot this thing." Right. And then when we shot it, you know what I'm saying, originally, because I knew he was gonna be fearful. Right.
Yeah.
We did it together. Right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Okay," and it scared his heart almost jumped out his chest.
I bet.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded still keeping safety in mind. Here goes one in the magazine. I'm gonna let you do it and let it go and see what happens.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so that's how I'm,
Gotta
so
walk 'em through
I've
it.
done it one time, but my plan is to keep it going.
I got you.
Right?
Yeah.
And make sure. And again, the first thing is the safety. And this ain't nothing to play with because this will take somebody's life. Or take it, you know what I mean? So it's not a game.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I got a question because all y'all got boys. So you think girls should go through the
Yes.
same thing?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
They're
yeah.
no different.
Definitely. Yeah. You got to protect yourself.
Girls especially because they're going to be carrying at some point. Boys, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be carrying until later on in life. Girls, with everything that goes on in society now and in the world, they'll be carrying probably quicker than boys.
And they're gonna be more of a target.
Yeah,
than-
think about
they're
this.
gonna
Your
be more of a
girls
target.
out there, your girls out there.
Yeah.
Once they're old enough, they're driving and they got to stop and get gas.
Yeah.
late at night or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or they going to the club.
You should teach them. Make sure you get your gas before it get dark.
Right. Yeah,
But in the case that they have to, then hey, you know what I mean. If you had to, you would know what you was doing.
Right.
So okay, I think I'm gonna look into that because I got a 10-year-old finna be 11, and then my 2 oldest girls. So we might take
And again, with them,
a $5 trip to the gun range.
with them,
or
you
something.
have to approach it. I think you have to approach it with like talk to them about it first,
Right,
and then see if they're actually
Yeah.
comfortable because they may say, that ain't what I want to do, especially with a girl.
Yep.
And I like that you said y'all had the conversation because I did the same thing. I was like, look, I'm gonna give you this, but just because I give it to you, don't mean that you trust what I say.
Yeah.
You have to look at it for
Every
yourself.
time.
Yep.
First thing you do, drop the magazine. Mm-hmm. Pull the chamber back. Make sure ain't one in there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to clear it. It don't matter if it's me, anybody.
Yeah,
If
somebody
they say,
hand it to you?
it's ready.
No.
You get it ready yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Right,
make
right.
sure it's ready.
It's important.
That's important, man.
Fellas, man, this was a very good conversation.
Very informative,
This is a lot of information for our fans. I hope you guys learned a lot from this episode. It's very important. Thank you guys for your insight. Just very knowledgeable information. All right, so at this point, we'll go into the next segment, what we like to call Ask Bro Code.
I'm gonna take this one.
Okay, Rico, you got it.
I want number
I think
5.
one of them balls match your shirt, Rico.
See, that's why he won number 5. He won with color match his shirt.
Okay, what are 3 elements you feel makes a healthy relationship?
All right. Okay. 3 elements. All right. So, and I know you got O's elements. I remember you saying that in one of our conversations. You got O's elements. All right. So, yeah, I think our fans probably remember those. But I'm gonna start with some of AC's elements.
Okay,
All right,
AC,
so
okay.
AC's elements to a healthy relationship. First, communication. All right. So you have to be able to talk to each other. You have to be able to actively listen. Even when you don't want to hear what that person is saying, you have to give them that opportunity to speak and actively listen. So communication is very important. I would also say that trust, building that environment of trust. If you really care about that person and you want something long and you want something to come out of it, you want to eventually get serious, you need to build that atmosphere of trust. And the second one I would say,
Third.
The third one, sorry about the third one I would say is unconditional love. Unconditional, because you can say you love somebody, but unconditionally, right? And I think it's easy for us to love our kids unconditionally, but when it comes to another person, it's easy to put those conditions on it.
I'm gonna go with what I call the TCC factor. Okay, TCC factor. You touched on 2 of them.
TCC.
So what? I call it the TCC factor. Okay, trust is very important because basically what people have to understand when you're in a relationship, you want to be able to trust that person with whatever you're going through, whatever you want to talk about. Me personally, I feel like whoever you're involved with, that person should become your best friend. So you should be able to trust them with whatever it is you're going through, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely communication. Okay, because basically no relationship is gonna last without being able to talk things out. Basically let a person know what's going on in your mind, let a person know what it is you're feeling, how you feel, and all that stuff. And the second C is compromising. Because one of the biggest things about compromising is, I can't sit here and say, you married, okay? You can't sit here and say, hey, babe, I want you to go to all these sports events with me, okay? And she like, but I'm not a big sports person, but you're like, babe, I'm a sports person. Okay, fine, I go. But then she turn around and actually watch a Lifetime movie. You're like, no, I don't do no Lifetime movie. That's not compromising. So when I say compromising, you got to meet halfway, or basically meet in an area where both of y'all can be able to say, hey, we both win.
So if she says, okay, say you're the type of person that wants to go 50-50 and she doesn't want to go 50-50. You compromise.
Okay, so listen. Listen. Here's the thing with that. With me, if you don't want to go 50-50, number one, once again, the communication. I want to know why. Okay. Then if you don't want to, if you give me the reason why you don't want to go 50-50, then my thing is now let's compromise. Okay. You don't want to go 50-50, let's meet 60-40. I'm saying, but at the same time, I'm saying it definitely ain't gonna be no 80-20. Okay.
No way.
Now hold on. With the 70-30, it depends on what you bring to the table with the 70-30.
So this is the thing too. Okay, so like I know you said the communication.
Wait, we finna get off on the whole.
No, we not. No, because I want to say on my part, I don't really want to add anything. I like the compromise part.
Right.
That you're talking about.
It's
right?
important.
But when you say compromise, right? I hear the things about the sports and watching Lifetime or whatever. Okay, cool, right? But when you start talking about, when you talking about finances and stuff like that, right? There may be a case to where if you make more money than her, then 50-50 is not really 50-50.
Right, it's not reasonable.
Right. So it needs to be, when you're saying you're compromising, right? Yeah, let's say for instance you putting $4,000 towards the bills or whatever a month, right? But if all she can do is $1,000 or whatever, there may be other
Get
stuff.
rid of her.
No, it may be no.
Gotta go.
Yeah.
Get rid of her. Get rid of her if she can only do
4,000
1,000
versus 1,000.
No, get
Bruh,
rid
she
of
gotta
her.
go.
Get rid. See, she gotta go.
She outta here.
But no, let me
said that.
Let me tell you. Get rid of her if she can only do 1,000, but she got clothes in her closet.
No, hold on.
She always got clothes in her closet with tags on it, and she don't even win.
No. Well, first
Get rid of her.
No. I don't, like so if she's doing no.
Get rid of her.
All right, I know they playing. If it's 1,000, but there's other stuff outside of the money stuff, right?
Right.
Is she gonna be doing stuff that's not necessarily money related?
Right.
I just
Like
like
what?
my 3. Well, I don't think I got 3.
What's your 3?
Okay, so communication is. I think that's
Yeah, that's
that needs to be first. That communication needs to be everybody. First of all,
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so we just
Yeah.
that's unspoken.
Right.
So I say understanding
Okay.
because we need to understand each other.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna agree with you, AC.
Okay.
I'm gonna say love.
That unconditional?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's easy to say I love you, but unconditional. You gotta love that person even when you don't even like looking at them.
And then let's add a 4th one. So I'm gonna add a 4th one, and I'm gonna say love languages.
Yeah, understanding.
Those are
Understanding
very
and love
important.
language. Yeah.
I think we need to do a show on that because that's very important. That's one of the biggest
I might
things.
agree with you on that.
We definitely need to do it because
Yeah.
that matters.
Can I get 5 minutes? I need 2. No, not 5 minutes. 2 seconds.
Next time.
Go ahead.
Okay, you gotta give yours.
No, I just piggyback.
You married.
I piggybacked and said,
What was your 3 when you was?
everybody, you just said
making
communication for everybody,
That was
unconditional
communication.
love, and I said compromise.
Compromise. There it is. What you got? You need 2 seconds. What
No,
you
I
got?
just need 2 seconds, man. I just want to say, we lost 5 service members in the past couple weeks.
Yes.
2 Navy SEALs and 3 Army soldiers. And I know their families are hurting right now.
Yes.
And, they are confused and a whole bunch of emotions. And, as a soldier myself, the ultimate sacrifice for a military member is serving their country.
Yes, that's right.
And when we sign up, we know what we're signing up for, and we know we may or may not have to pay the piper.
Yep.
And we just, from bro code, heartfelt, our condolences.
Our condolences to the family. Yes, definitely.
To everyone. For sure. And we love y'all. We praying for y'all, and we hope this pain passes on.
Yes.
Not the memory. Always hold on to the memory.
Hang on to those memories.
The pain. We hope the pain passes.
Yep.
That's the process.
And with that being said, guys, that's another episode of Bro Code.